beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-July 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Pisces. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. Also, I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. But with that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at the remainder of July. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We also are going to do 3 yes or no questions, your crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pull a summary card, Pisces, for what has happened the last few weeks or month. We have the card Magnetism. I really like the Magnetism card. This is a card that says that you have the ability to attract to you the things that you want. So very, very exciting. Likely you've made some good progress on some stuff last few weeks, Pisces. Really getting closer to your goals and again, attracting those things that you want to yourself and into your life. But let's see what messages we have here. The first card that we have is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is an interesting card. Sometimes people see it and it looks a little gloomy. It's a lot of blues and grays. Everyone is facing away from us and their heads are hanging low. And then there's lots of swords stuck into the boat. But the nice thing about this card is if you look at the boat is moving in a forward positive direction. So this is an indicator of a necessary change, something that needed to happen. It's taking you to a positive, better place. This could also be physically relocating or moving. The next card that we have is Temperance. Temperance is a card of balance, harmony, self-control, moderation. Really, in reality, I feel like we can always use more balance in life. So I like to see these harmony and balancing type cards with Temperance. I would say that almost immediately you started realizing how beneficial this transition was. Some of you may have been questioning it, some of you may have not been. But some nice new harmony and balance those last few weeks. Definitely love that. And at the bottom we have the Emperor. The Emperor is a card, like a few of them, that have a lot of meanings. This is a card of respect, leadership, strategic planning. This is also a good parenting or fertility card. When I see the Emperor more often than not, this relates to long-term planning, being strategic, being future-focused. I like to see the Emperor, though, because this is saying you're doing the right thing long-term. You're doing the right thing for future you. Now let's take a look and clarify this column and see what other messages we have here. The first card that we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. It's also a card of being very persistent. I do feel like through this transition you're going to be gaining some boundaries. If you look at this card, this person didn't build a wall around them, more so a fence that helps filter in the things they want and filter out the things they don't want. So definitely the benefit of this transition, along with many other things, would be the ability to set some new boundaries potentially that you didn't have before. The next card that we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic, very leader-like. Leader has come up twice too, so leader could have an important meaning to many of you these last few weeks. But I like to see this. This is you doing for you. This is you supporting yourself through this transition. And when we are in this place of balance and harmony, we're naturally more tolerant, we are naturally more empathetic, we are naturally more supportive. So some really, really good energy coming along with these last few weeks. And at the bottom here we have the Empress and the Emperor paired together. That's always a really fun pairing. The Empress is a card of creation and abundance. So again, you're really working on creating that future, setting yourself up for success in future state. So love to see that. This is an abundance card though, but at this point it seems like we have an abundance of peace, an abundance of balance, harmony. This could be good financials as well. We have boundaries now that we didn't have before. But you have a creation card and the magnetism card paired together, which is really nice. The Empress is also a card of fertility and pregnancy. So definitely some pregnancy for some of you recently. This could even be a friend or family or like a grandchild, but lots of fertile energy there. Moving on, let's take a look at what's coming for the next few weeks. I guess you can have both of these cards. The first one is balance. I love that. We were just talking about how you have more balance. Love to see that balance continuing on into the last few weeks of July for us. And then we have consistency. I know this is like kind of cliche to say, but consistency is really important. I won't go as far to say as consistency is key, but there's something that you're going to want to make sure that you're very consistent on these next few weeks. But let's see where these cards take us now, what other messages we have coming through. The first card that we have is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of reflection. It's kind of taking a look back and figuring out where we want to go. This could also be a card of reunion, so you see these people being reunited here. But definitely reflections and reuniting are the keys coming through there. We're going to clarify that. The next card that we have is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. Love all of those things, any and all of those things. So nice energy carrying through. We'll see if we can pin down a little bit further what that success is. I will say consistency is going to be the key to unlocking this piece, this victory, award, recognition, good news, success. Consistency to keep pushing till you get to this successful point. At the bottom here we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. The Ace of Cups specifically is baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. So some new love energy, definitely some fertility energy again coming through. One thing that I like to point out with the Ace of Cups is sometimes this isn't like an engagement proposal. This could also be a business proposal, business opportunity. Typically relates to love, but the meaning can expand on a little bit further from there. The first clarifier we have is the Ace of Swords. Again, those ace cards are cards of newness. There's going to be some new mental clarity or some sort of new idea. I do believe that this is coming from reflection. I don't know exactly what event you're reflecting on. It feels older, which I know that's not very specific, but I'm just trying to give more context here, Pisces. There's definitely something that we're reflecting on, and you're getting some sort of new clarity from this reflection. It's almost like coming to peace, healing from what's happened. This next card is definitely supportive of that Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of loss, heartbreak, depression. It could be surgery too, but oftentimes when I see the Three of Swords, this is about pulling the sword from your own heart, Pisces. So there is some reflection and healing that's happening here. In addition to consistency, I feel like it will help carry you to this point of success, onto this bigger and better place. Then at the bottom here we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card with a lot of meanings. Of course, many of the tarot cards do. But this is really coming through as worry. And I'm not sure, I feel like it's not like you're worried about this new relationship, but you were worried if this relationship was going to happen. Like, was this person going to ask me out? Were we going to get pregnant? Was I going to have a grandchild? Some of you could have been worried if the marriage was going to go through or not. But again, really good love energy on that Ace of Cups. But there's been some worry surrounding it, for sure. Now moving on to our next column, we're going to take a look at anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments that you have, anything that you associate with money. The first card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. If you take a look at this card, they're fighting with wands, not fighting with swords. So this is like small bumps in the road. So there's gonna be something related to money or work in the next few weeks that goes a little off, a little awry, a little out of plan, maybe causing a small conflict. Nothing too major. As part of this conflict, I am seeing some self-defense that's coming through with this Seven of Wands. This is like feeling like the need to protect yourself from competition, or feeling like you have to defend yourself. You see you're just one person up here with one wand and there's 6 other wands down here. We're going to clarify though, of course, those cards. And at the bottom we have the World card, which is nice to see. The World card is the world quite literally coming full circle. This is a completion of a lesson, a goal, completion in general. It is whatever this conflict, this is an indicator of this end. So not sure how long this conflict has been going on for, or these feelings of competition or self-defense, but before the end of the July, they're going to come to an end, which is always good. We don't want that kind of conflict if we don't need it. And let's see what clarifying cards we have here. First up, we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is very patient. You do need to continue to be patient in this scenario. Building off the Page of Pentacles, this could be a new job, raise, or money news. So that could be how some of you in this conflict is just going somewhere else entirely. But the key really here is patience. The next card that we have is the Chariot. Somebody once described this to me as the Vroom Vroom card, which means that there is action, there's change, we're on a journey, we're moving forward. So again, you're making progress on this conflict, whether it feels like you are or aren't. The Chariot can also be a card of new vehicles, so some of you could be getting a new vehicle this month, so congratulations to those of you that are. And then at the very bottom here we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, this is really coming through as kind of like feeling apathy or feeling unfulfilled with your current situation. But given the conflict and the feeling of competition and self-defense, I'm not surprised to see these kind of feelings. But along with the world and the conflict together, that's something that's going to come to an end. So that's good to see. Moving on to our next section, we're going to take a look at anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationships, children, anything that you associate with love, Pisces. Our first card is the Magician. The Magician is one of those cards that's really good to have anywhere in the deck. This is very focused, creative energy. It's inspired action. It's about turning your visions into reality. Whatever you want, you can have. Do you want to grow your family? That's manageable. Do you want to be in a relationship? That will happen. If you want to get engaged, married, that'll happen. So focus on what you want in terms of love. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, divorce, loss. Some of you, I feel like, are still processing. I don't know that this is indicating a breakup in the next 2 weeks, but this is an indicator of a recent breakup for some of you, that we still have some healing that we need to do. Jumping down though to the next card, there does seem to be new relationships on the horizon. So with our Knight of Cups is like that Prince or Princess Charming card. It's that knight in shining armor. It's very romantic, very proposal-like. Again, this is a great card for entering into a new relationship, advancing your current relationship. I'm not saying replace one relationship with another, but I do feel like there's new love coming in for many of you, which actually is going to help this healing process. It's not really like a cover-up or a rebound or anything. It is actually truly moving forward from this point of heartbreak. Let's clarify this column though and see what other messages we have. The first clarifier we have is the Death card. The Death card doesn't mean death, but it does indicate a big change, an ending, that time to move on. Again, I feel like some of you are looking at that relationship that ended recently, but not necessarily again in the next 2 weeks. But this is again that indicator to move on and move forward, which we already talked about here, seeing that new relationship coming in. The next card that we have is the Lovers card. We love the Lovers card in the love column. This is a card of partnership, deep love, strength together, moving forward together. So again, I do feel a really nice, strong, healthy relationship for a lot of you coming in, which is great to see. At the bottom here, we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens, kind of being overwhelmed. More than anything, I think some of you are irritated or tired of being single. So like to see that Knight of Cups coming in there for you. Now at this time, let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Revolution. So some major change coming for you, a kind of a core change of how we do something, like an internal revolt where we evolve, make changes. Again, it's that kind of systematic, deep change that's coming. Let's see what messages we can give you here though. Sorry, the room just got dark. The light is on, but you can't tell. But there's a cloud covering the sun now, so it just got a little dark in here. The first card that we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. Again, that card of persistence. We've had two cards now saying that there are going to be new boundaries through this transition. So definitely new boundaries. There's no way around that. Nicely, these cards are paired in both of the corners up here. The next card that we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is kind of a dark, gloomy card. If you look at this person, they're laying down flat and they have all these swords stuck into them. People explain this as like feeling in a low spot, like feeling like we're at rock bottom. The nice thing is that this is the energy coming up. So although you're feeling really low, we're leveling up, leveling up, leveling up, leveling up. And through this revolution and through these new boundaries, again, we're climbing, 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 which is good to see. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords, Pisces. The Ace of Swords is a card of new ideas, conflict, mental clarity. This is really going to be new ideas, more so even new opportunities. Again, it's like we're taking one step up and another step up and another step up and another step up. So this is like the next stepping stone that we're seeing. Clarifying this last column to see what messages we have. The first clarifier that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a card of patience and hard work. So again, this is going to be kind of, I don't want to call a slow process, but very much so progression. It's taking that step, taking that step, taking that step, Pisces. The next card that we have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of, the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is that desire for long-term security. I feel like in this exact moment, you're not doing exactly what you want. You're not exactly where you're at. And that's where some of those Ten of Swords feelings are sourcing from. So again, it's really about taking that next step, taking that next step, taking that next step to get you to where you want to be long-term. And then at the bottom here, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of not very good relationships. We talked about this before, that there's something that we need to move on from. And again, that's kind of another step in the stone of this revolution and this growth. But again, with that Ace of Swords, it's really coming through as new opportunities more than anything. So plenty of new to help grieve and grow from the old. Now at this point in time, Pisces, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 8 of clubs. This is the number 13 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the 8 of diamonds. This is the number 44 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the Queen of Diamonds. This is number 12 card. That's going to be a yes. So we have no, no, yes, Pisces. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of July. Your crystal this month is dolomite, which is good for grounding and endurance. It really helps you stay authentic and gives you this sense of trust, stability, and endurance. It also makes us a little bit more playful, which is good. As we all grow older, that's something that we need. And last but not least, we're going to pull a healing note here for you. Your healing note says, healing is a journey traveled one step at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time. The message clearly being one step at a time here, Pisces. But thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Sorry about the dogs barking there for just a second. But again, thank you. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your July, Pisces.